Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace. Monetary energy, core of the earth, doubles every year. Listen to my words. Selling doesn't hurt. Selling is absurd. It's like cutting off your wings, but you want to be a bird.
Alright, welcome back guys. Just wanted to do a live stream today and answer a whole bunch of questions. So I'm going to try and kill as many birds as possible with one stone. So let's get straight into this. I've got so many questions and I want to answer all of them so everybody gets something here today. Comments here, for example, Mark Jason, 3 hours ago. This is the start of a bear market. Your TA is wrong. Awesome, bro. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. That's the truth, okay? But you should really check my previous videos when I've been banging on about how bearish we were or how bullish we are. And even today, we're going to talk about what's actually going on in the market as well. So, you know, kind of more bearish news, but you'll see exactly what's going on. Jacob Sutton, awesome. He's a hodler. Clearly he's never going to lose out, so that's another thing. So hodlers never lose, right? Eugene, he liked what I've put in, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also I appreciate the feedback, obviously, right? You know, I've put the info there. This was just something how to avoid crypto taxes. So clearly he's a crypto fan. Love that guy. Awesome. This is what we're here for. So when will the Black Swan event happen? Any idea? Now this is a main subject of today's video, along with a few other questions. There's another private question somebody asked, was regarding how some altcoins may pump more and some altcoins may not, right? Or something like that. So what I want to do is go in there and talk about all of this stuff, right? We're going to talk about these subjects one by one and hopefully get some awesome answers for everybody, right? So that's just that. Now let me go straight into some charts if you want. So if you're here, say hi, hit that, smash that like button, you know, hit the subscribe button, support the channel. Also, we're doing a massive $10,000 giveaway, but only way you can check that out is basically if you go to the Discord server. So the Discord server link should be in the description. Join that. You go to the giveaway section to see exactly how that will basically happen. So follow the instructions and you know, all you got to do is subscribe to Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube, obviously, be on Discord, verify yourself. So that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bot to find out who the most active members are and everything as well, and it's going to do this. Hiya bro, I can't read your name, but I think the last part is netpok. Yeah, I can't read. I think it's Hebrew, right? But yeah, awesome. Nice to see you here. Thank you. Yeah, I think I can say Ivan. I think it sounds like Ivan. I think it's Ivan. Nice to see you on the chat. Thank you. If you have any questions, make sure to fire it away. I don't have long, but I am going to try and fit in as much as possible into this rather than doing TAs and anything like this. BSV. You think it's the future? I'll talk about it. Okay, how about this? I'll talk about it, right? There are some important fundamentals that you have to really understand. I'm not sure if you're aware that recently BSV suffered a 51% attack, and why that could happen and what that says about its future is very important. So we're going to talk about this and we're going to get it in there for you, right? So let's move straight into the charts and have a look at the charts, or we can actually, do you know what? Well, let's talk about all of this stuff, and I'll drop the charts at the end today because we've got quite a bit to talk about, right? So what I've done is I've done a nice little search because I've been mentioning a few dates. So recently I've mentioned the 22nd of September, a date to worry, and why I've kind of mentioned why we're going to talk about this. So on the 22nd of September, we have this the economic projections meeting that the Federal Reserve will do, and during this particular time, right, we've got some situations, right, that are in hand that we need to look at, right? One of the thing is they are talking about how they might actually stop buying government bonds, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on. The meeting is called FOMC on the 21st to the 22nd. They're going to have that meeting, and then obviously they got one in November and December, but those ones are different. The one in September is a key one, and the date 21 to 22. And I'll tell you why. So recently everyone was talking about the infrastructure bill. And on the infrastructure bill, basically, they cannot approve that anytime before the 20th of September. However, the last date for them to do it would be the 1st of October. So from the 20th to the 1st of October, there's this gap when basically the infrastructure bill could be approved. And then within that time, all it needs is the President of the United States to literally sign a document and make it the law. Coincidentally, around that similar time, we've got this Federal Reserve thing coming on, right? And there's a little bit more as well. So, this is regarding the Black Swan event, basically. So these are all Black Swan event, possible Black Swan events that we could have. So we need to be warned about these specific days. So we've got the 20th, no earlier than 20th, the infrastructure bill, and then up to the 1st of October infrastructure bill, which, could be approved, and it's a matter of when it's going to be approved. It's not an if anymore. It is definitely getting approved. They definitely want it. They might bump it up a little bit, change it up a little bit, and they're doing it. They want to tax crypto, full stop, right? They want to tax multiple other assets as well. It's going to be done. They've made their mind up. It's going to happen. And this is why they printed all that money and gave away all those free money to people, right? Or whatever they want to call it. So that's what they did. So we've got this situation. Then we've got, obviously, the Federal Reserve having this meeting basically on the 21st to the 22nd of September, which is coincidentally at this similar time. That kind of worries me as well. And they're going to disclose whether they're going to be increasing the interest because of all the money that they've printed. If there's hyperinflation, of course they have to increase the interest, right? So they're going to be talking about that. And also, are they going to be stopping buying the government bonds? Because you have to remember, government sells its bonds to Federal Reserve, so Federal Reserve can print more money. That's what usually happens. But now they don't really have a limit or anything, and the USA could be in debt to the Federal Reserve. Right? It's hilarious how a country, a governing country, a mega first world country, right? If you want to call it, right, super advanced country, is actually technically in debt to its own money printing machine. How pathetic is that? But that's what it is, right? And this is something, it's a black swan. If it gets announced, that could also see this issue. But also there's one other thing as well. You see the stock market. The stock market has been pumping so hard since last March that it's just gone parabolic. And that's gone too fast, too high, too fast. If you've noticed anything in the stock market, you'll see everything's been pumping. And you know what happens after a pump, right? We get a massive dump. So when we look at how far it's pumped, how far some of the stocks have pumped, there's a dump coming. When, we don't know. That's the only thing we can't say. So we know that's another potential black swan event, that could happen. Now, it might happen because of another, a variant of the C19, right? The kind of pandemic we've had, right? It could happen because of another one of those. And I don't want to specify the name because as soon as I do, YouTube's going to start putting ads all over the video, trust me. So we're going to call it C19, right? So if we see another variant of that, we might have a big lockdown and all sorts and a massive economical collapse, right? That's a black swan we could look at, right? And also looking at the stock market crash, that's inevitable. It's coming, it's too high. In fact, some analysts and experts have said how the stock market should have crashed 10 years ago, but it didn't, right? So we're 10 years too late. Can you imagine this, right? So that's just insane. And I'm out of it. So for me, I'm not that fussed about it. So that's what's going on. So we know all of this is happening, right? Now, there's one other thing as well. The SEC, they want to regulate cryptocurrencies. And listen to this and you can understand what I'm talking about. SEC has been pushing the government to approve them and give them the funding to go and, start regulating all these DeFi projects and everything. Because remember, DeFi is traditional finance on a non-traditional ledger, right? So decentralized finance, technically the name itself, it describes it. So it's all the financial tools available in a decentralized manner. And that's the problem. So they want to regulate that. Now, one other thing that happens is the SEC are after literally every single coin out there, and I'll explain why. Right? What makes it a security? Because this is the SEC, the Securities and Commissions. Right? They are saying that Bitcoin is the only coin that is not a security. Why? Because Bitcoin originally did not sell anything to people. Now imagine that. How beautiful is that? Bitcoin didn't sell. Bitcoin was mined. Effort went in, people mined it. People never bought it or anything in order for it to pump. So every other coin since then that has come has either sold their tokens, which makes it a security because people bought it to get profits and this and that. Ethereum, funnily, is in a gray area as well. So they haven't really let go of Ethereum. It's still in a gray area. But Bitcoin is the only one that they've said, okay, we're ignoring Bitcoin because it never sold. But everything else has been sold as a token or like a tokenized stock in a company or whatever you want to call it, right? And people have bought it with the intention that they're going to basically make some money out of it. So that's what it is. It's all about profit. Whatever you are jumping into that will give you profits, you're going to get wrecked, right? So that's what SEC is doing now. With SEC, coincidentally, they're waiting for this infrastructure bill. They're also waiting for this Federal Reserve announcement, because they are also expected to do it after the 20th of September, anytime up to the middle of October. Now, how much of a coincidence is that? Because remember, October 1st is the date for the infrastructure bill. So as soon as they get approved, maybe 2 weeks, the SEC will also get approved to go on a rampage and literally kill off as many projects out there. Now, why can they do that? Remember, most of these projects have faces behind them, actual companies, limited companies, right? And what they do is basically, they know who the owners are. So they know who to go and catch. That's what it is. So when it comes to decentralized protocols, 100% decentralized, without any founders or any owners, those ones are going to do a lot better than the centralized ones. Of course, listen, I always talk about this, right? I talk about how 11,400 or 11,500 coins out there, 99% of them will fail. At some point or another, they will fail. There has been other coins that have completely been abandoned and then got picked up by somebody else. I'll give you a good example of this, a beautiful example, right? Dogecoin was abandoned, but it got picked up by the Litecoin community, and basically Litecoin are now mining it. So whenever one Litecoin is mined, they're using the same algorithm to mine Dogecoin. Well, that community would have died long ago, because there was no one maintaining it, no one doing anything. So this is what it is. There's a lot of dead coins out there who eventually, they get picked up by someone, or they get abandoned and sometimes even left alone, right? Let's give you a good one. There's a coin called BitConnect. Would you believe this? There are still some people holding it and trading it. That was a scam back in 2017 or 2018. That scammed out. I think it was like $200 million or something. So again, some of these coins survive because of bag holders. Because once it's there, it's immutable, right? That's the thing about smart contracts or even any cryptocurrency. If it's still there, as long as two people are exchanging it peer to peer, it's still valid, right? But definitely, regulation is a good thing. I've never said regulation is a bad thing. But what I'm saying is, you got to be careful. So it's not about who's getting regulated, who's not. It's about you as the investor, you as the bag holder, right? You have to understand, what are you holding? Are you going to hold something that's going to wreck you, or are you going to hold something that's never going to wreck you? Do you know what I mean? You should all know this as well, right? I'm one of those, I call myself a maximalist. Probably I am, right? I'm all about Bitcoin. In fact, my portfolio is 99% BTC, and everything else is very small. And if they obviously pump, then what I do, I take my initial investment out, and then what I do is I put my profit back into BTC. So you see what I mean? So for me, I'm as BTC mad as it gets, right? So that's what I believe in, and the reason is because I'm looking at the supply ratio, I'm looking at the log charts, I'm understanding that the supply is reducing and the adoption is increasing. So I'm using that metric to say, well, if this is the case, I'm better off being on something that is getting more attention than anything else. And also, talking about attention, go to anybody random that who has, just go and ask them, have you heard of cryptocurrency? and ask them what have they heard of, you'll see majority of the people will say Bitcoin. They don't know the other 11,500 coins. They know that only Bitcoin exists. That's the crypto. Some people may even say Ethereum, right? That's about it. But you'll find 99.9% of the people have never heard of anything else as crypto. So when we talk about crypto, people relate to Bitcoin. So ultimately, Bitcoin is like the center of stage. I'm not saying it's the best or anything, as I've mentioned many, many times, that one day we could have a situation where Bitcoin might not even be number one. And it's absolutely fine. It doesn't have to be number one, because the only reason it's number one is not because of this. It's because of none of this. It's because of this price here. The market cap is showing where the total amount of money is. Tomorrow, if Ethereum has this same amount of money here, there's nothing wrong with it. Bitcoin could have this much money there and still be fine. But what we're going to see is probably at that time, Ethereum may be $100,000 coin. And BTC maybe not, you know what I mean? So it's one of those kind of things. It doesn't really matter what rank it is. We're not going by the rank. We're going by the tech. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lead this into your question you asked me regarding BSV, right? And I want to be honest about BSV. It will fail in the future. I think BSV with higher technology might be better. Okay. Technology is not the key, bro. This is the main important thing you need to really understand. What is BSV? Where did BSV come from? Is it brand new technology? No, it's not. It's a fork of Bitcoin. And do you know how many times Bitcoin has been forked? More than 30,000 times. There are so many coins who have come out, forked Bitcoin. Some people even done it by accident, right? Forked Bitcoin and, like testing and this and that. And then they made it live, right? And what happens is BTC holders receive the fork coins for free. They receive it. Now, people who don't trust it, want it, believe it, they usually dump it straight on the market. And from that point onwards, they kill it. Now, when it came to Bitcoin Cash, right, we had a split in the community and half the community did support it. So this is why Bitcoin Cash survived. But then we also had another third split, which was BSV. Again, the community split, but it didn't really get much. It was more to do with a lot of news and drama. There was some hype behind it. But again, what happened was majority of the whales who held the coins and who had it for free. Remember, BSV, once you fork the chain, or Bitcoin, when you fork the chain, you can do it yourself, right? The 21 million coins will come out and go to everyone, every Bitcoin wallet there is, every cold storage, obviously, not the exchanges. It will go there. And a lot of people will see these freebies and they'll dump it on an exchange, take the profit and convert it back to Bitcoin. So what we're looking at here is not BSV or Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin. We're not comparing those. They're all the same code anyway, right? There's a few parameters change, like block size, block reward, the time, the reward, those kind of things change, but that's easy. Once all of that is done, right, you have a coin, and we have many. We have Bitcoin SV, we have Bitcoin Cash, we have Bitcoin ABC, we have Bitcoin Gold, we have Bitcoin Diamond, we have Bitcoin Dark, Bitcoin God knows whatever, and there's 30,000 of them, right? And I'm telling you about 20, out of those 30,000, probably 99.9% have already been, they're gone, they're destroyed. Right, because they didn't succeed at all. Also, another factor that comes in is mining. Where is the mining community focused, right? Are the entire global mining community also mining this? And a lot of the time you'll find not entirely. So this is where, for example, to control the, like for example, I'll give you a good one here. Binance Coin, BNB, they forked Ethereum and they created BSC. Fair play. It's a fork. Ethereum is decentralized because anybody could mine it as long as they got the equipment, the resources. But when it came to BSC, what they did was Binance has majority of the nodes, so it's controlled, centralized. But we do know one thing about this is Binance Coin avoids being hacked. Now, obviously, centralized, that means if somebody does go in and find one of the nodes, they can hack it. But I think they've decentralized it in a way that they put 17 or 18 nodes globally. So, but they control it themselves. So we know that we're not going to see a 51% attack there. if that makes any sense, right? So that's always a problem. You see, you got a double spend, 51% attack. It can be done. Somebody could take over the server if they got more mining power, and whoever has more mining power, and if you're one large node, you can ultimately decide what to do. You become part of the main leader in the governance, right? That's what it is. So similar kind of a thing with BSV. We know the community is not that strong, right? It's a very handful of people. Majority have dumped it, and because of this, a few weeks ago we had a BSV hack, right? I'll just show you. I actually showed it on the channel as well just recently, all right? Or 51% attack. It was very recent. I forgot the article. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there it was on the 3rd of August. So you can see it wasn't that long ago, right? It suffered a 51% attack. Coinbase and everybody had to shut down all the protocols and all the transfers and everything, because this is dangerous. And if you look at the amount, I forgot how much it was. It was approximately look at this, it wiped 570,000 transactions. Now imagine how many people could have lost money here, right? And this is all the timeline for the whole hack basically that happened, right? And this is the double spend basically. That's what happens when somebody takes over the network, 51%. This is what happens. So decentralization is key. It's not about which coin or which chain you're on. Every chain is a great chain until they're not, right? Every cryptocurrency we see here, for example, currently we have 11,496. Let's just call it 11,500. They're all valid until they're not. Do you know what I mean? Every chain is a great chain. Majority of the chains, I talk about it quite a lot as well, are copies of every other chain. Do you know what I mean? There's a very few coins here who have their own custom code. For example, Bitcoin has clones, hundreds if not thousands. We talked about 30,000 clones of Bitcoin, a few perimeters here in their chain. Ethereum has, I think, about 600 or 700 clones, right? 6 or 7. I mean, we just had a recent one where the founder of Hexcoin, he released Pulse Chain, which is a direct clone of Ethereum. You know, think about it. Binance coin running on Ethereum. It's a clone of Ethereum. Again, you see what I mean? Who else was it? Now, Cardano, they have their own language, so they're different. I think XRP shares some code with another company. I can't remember who, but does. Dogecoin shares Bitcoin's code. Dogecoin was a fork of Bitcoin. So that's another one. Solana has their own language, right? So Solana was written in a old language. I believe it was written in Rust, completely written in Rust. So there are coins who have their own thing. For example, Polkadot. Now, I don't know if you know this. One of Ethereum's original founder, the guy who created the Solidity code, is the founder of Polkadot. And he's literally using the new version of Solidity in Polkadot. So technically you can say similar to Ethereum, but obviously he's the original creator, so he has a lot more. No product scam. Yeah, I mean, look, Cardano, I've talked about Cardano on a realistic thing, right? Now, Cardano, again, one of the original Ethereum founders is Cardano. And Cardano does have a massive community, supporters. But let me get to the key of this, right? Key point to this, and you'll understand a lot more on this, right? You see, people are not comparing Cardano, Ethereum, or Polkadot, even though the same founders created it. There's no point looking at that. What I think majority of the people, and this is the key, majority of the people do not go into these coins because it's $3,000 or because it's $2 today. That's not why they went in there. I'll tell you why people bought Ethereum. It was pennies. I'll tell you why people bought Cardano, like myself. It was pennies. I know I'm going to make a significant amount of money on this. That's why I went there. All I went in for was to make money. And when I make money, I convert that money into Bitcoin and I leave it there. Because this is what's getting majority of the attention. Obviously, Cardano has, there are some companies out there launching these, Cardano has this many DeFi, that many DeFi. Well, no, Cardano doesn't. Cardano will activate them after the 12th of September. And I've talked about that as well. Cardano activates its smart contract functionality, and all the apps and everything will then start building after the 12th of September, not before. This is when the Alonso hard fork is done. So they need to literally fork the whole thing, launch it with a brand new code in order for it to work. Currently, they are doing a lot of testing. They're changing all the wallet algorithms, all these super exchanges, everybody's doing it. That's what's going on. But they've got a web page like where you can go to DeFi posts and see all these DeFi projects for Ethereum. They've created a similar thing to display and showcase how many projects are coming. Now, we do know that over 100 projects are going to be using them, but those projects, some of them are actually just doing a half migration. So they're not doing a full migration. It's not like they're going off Ethereum. They actually launched on Ethereum and now they're just branching out, doing a bridge. But we already have those. For example, a lot of projects that use the Ethereum code base, which is Binance and a few others, Polygon, for example, it's the same as Ethereum code base. They are interoperable. They have a bridge, part of the project, to the other network in order to give liquidity to the other network as well. And we've seen similar stuff, like, for example, Aave, they've done it. They now operate on Ethereum, they operate on Binance, they operate on Polygon, and they have also said, I think something, I can't remember on the top of my head, but I think they said they're going to be doing something on Cardano too. And that's what's going to happen. The ecosystem is going to have a massive pump of these random coins, but actually some of these coins are the same coin, just running on another chain. Like sometimes you go wrapped BTC. Well, wrapped BTC, you can see there's so many wrapped BTC, but is it actually a separate coin? Unfortunately, here they show it as a separate coin, but it's not. It's the same thing. It's actually wrapped Bitcoin running on another protocol. So it shouldn't be showing as another 21 million coins or whatever. It should only show this, and we shouldn't see wrapped coins. But unfortunately, on the market cap, we see the valuation for this. This is why I've mentioned this is not a true valuation. Do you know what I mean? So it's very important to understand these kind of stuff as well. Now I want to go into something else. Actually, no, if there's anything else, let me know. If not, let's move straight into another viewer question. I want to talk about this. Also, guys, remember the Discord server is kicking, right? Any one of those who can't get live updates or any live notifications from YouTube, well, if you join the Discord server, you can actually see all the live stream updates come automatically. It doesn't matter what video I launch, automatically it starts posting it. So please have a look at this. And also, we have a nice little giveaway section here. Go in, have a little read what this giveaway talks about and how to basically join it and, probably in the future benefit from it. So crypto market, let's have a look at everything today. Market cap, okay, I'm not looking at market cap. Let's have a look at volume. Who's got the best volume? Again, USD. When USD has the best volume, that means the market will be dumping. When USD loses its volume, we start looking at these and we start seeing where the money's moving in. Actually, no, real BTC can trade in a DEX, bro. It's not the BTC that's the problem, it's the DEX. So for example, if you want to trade real BTC, the native Bitcoin or any native currency, right, with another currency in a decentralized exchange, well, your best bet is Thorchain. Thorchain allows you to natively trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever between cross chains. That's the technology. And it's completely decentralized. It's completely anonymous. So SEC or whoever can't do anything to Thorchain. So this is why I've been a big bull on Thorchain. So yeah, of course you can do it. It's not the coin that's the problem. It's the technology. It's the people who developed it. If they really put an effort, it can be done. Anything can be done. It's code. Code is king. And all you got to do is connect the code to another code, figure out how to do it, and smart people can do it. But Rune has done it, so anyone could do it. Do you know what I mean? But what a lot of the guys do is, for example, if you have a DEX on Polygon, they just want you to use everything on Polygon because that's what pumps that network. If you have Ethereum coins, you just want to do it on Ethereum, not mixed with the others, so you can pump that network. Do you know what I mean? And pump your coin or whatever. But Thorchain said, sod it. We'll let people use whatever they want, whatever coin they got, use it from their cold storage or wherever, send it to us and enjoy. Do you know what I mean? So it is possible. It's the technology that's limiting it. The developers that are limiting it, not the actual coins. The coins are built. Remember, they're built once. You cannot build them again. You may be able to send upgrades to some of them, but that's about it. Whatever the base layer is, it's there. That was the first ever code. Code is king, code is law, right? So yeah, everything looking good. I'm not going to talk too much about this. I was looking at exchange inflow, and obviously we saw this pump where the coins were coming in. We talked about this the other day. Coins leaving from exchanges. Ethereum still leaving from the exchanges, but I did see some temporary Ethereum coming back in, and I'll show you this here. So I did see a little bit of a peak here where some coins did enter, but they started to come back out again. BTC, unfortunately, as you can see here, this is where we saw that income, right? So just wanted to quickly give you this kind of a roundup and see what's going on. What's this? So this is the weekly, and I want to really show you this, right? This is very important. So you see this area, purple area here on the VPVR, you can see we've got a lot of traffic, guys, and currently the area we're in, there's not much, but we have started to build this kind of a resistance zone here, as you can see from the VPVR, right? You can see that there's a little bit of a resistance that we build up. Now what we need to do is basically get into these levels and test them. And also looking at this, there's one problem that I noticed, right? And I don't know if anybody else noticed this. Remember I was talking about how we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green weeks. Sorry, 5 green weeks. We should have had a red. Here, obviously it's indecisive, but that was bad. What we should have seen for this market to react and become positive again, and I'll be honest with you, we should have seen this to be a red. Then we could have moved up, but unfortunately what we see here isn't the best, because now basically because we just went up, and I'll show you what I mean, right? Because of what we did here, let me make it larger. 1 second, guys. Let me change the color as well. All right, let's get rid of this. So yeah, because we've gone up like this, right? And then we've had this week, so this week now becomes kind of uncertain for what to do, but we are going to look at on a daily, and I'll have a look at this as well. So if I look at the daily, as long as we can stay above the 200-day moving average, in my opinion we should be fine, actually. I'll be honest with you, right? Let's have a look at this. So if we can stay above the 200-day moving average, which is the purple line here, as you can see, right? Let me get rid of this. Right, this 200-day moving average, we should be fine. So the target we need to stay above is $46,024, which is awesome, right? That's all we need to do. I'm not too concerned because I did see one other pattern here, and I'll show you on my main chart as well what the pattern looks like. Let's just draw this here just for now, and I'll show you. So this is just for now. Show you on a line chart and you see what I mean. So you see this body here, right? So we're just basically bouncing on the body, and you can see that we've formed this little trend lines. And obviously when I go back to the bars, you can see it looks slightly different. Not this bar, sorry, candles. It looks slightly different, but that's where we are. As long as we can stay above this, everything should still be bullish, and we should still be pumping and hopefully moving back up again. But if it doesn't, then yeah, I mean 46 is the key level. We need to hold support. So I'm not even going to put a Fibonacci on this, no point. What we need is to hold this $46,000 level, stay above the 200-day moving average so we don't go bearish again, and we can expect to see the golden cross, which we do expect around the 14th of September. So that would be nice and awesome to see. And if that is the final pump, guys, then I'm going to be very cautious, and I'll probably exit and then just sit on USD or something like this. No, it's any stable currency basically, and then see where the market goes. But I want to get into what the private message was. So let's just quickly finish this and go into that one, because that was a very fascinating thing he asked me, and I want to talk about this. So yeah, this is the kind of a level I'm hoping that if we do bounce on this line, if we don't in fall, then we need to bounce on this and come back up. So either way, right now market is indecisive, can't really say anything. It's the first day of the week, let's see what happens. But I did mention to everybody that, guys, you know, even on Friday when we had the dump, I talked about the dump like a week, 2 weeks prior. And then when we did have the dump, I said to everyone, guys, whatever you do, just be careful. Wait until the Sunday candle close. Wait until Monday. What's 2 days going to do? Just wait. Don't get all hyped up. You know, market looks positive, but it's not, because we're looking at other data and it doesn't look right. So that was that, right? Now, let's look at this. This is something I was showing yesterday on one of the videos, and I'll show it to you here as well. So I'm looking at the order book, and this is Ethereum, and you can see pretty much right now the buys are actually down a little bit, the sells are a little bit more, and you can see this reflected here. You can see the orders coming in. This is the order book, and just by measuring this, how thick and how tall this is, you can see the buys and sells, right? And we can also do the same on BTC, and we're looking at spot market, by the way, nothing else, just the spot market, right? Let's look at the Bitcoin spot market and see what Bitcoin is showing us. And here you can judge what's the market really doing, what's the orders like, what's going on in the buys and sells. So we're not looking at leverage, we're looking at spot market. Are the retail investors out? Are they buying? And if they are, then we can also see how much are they buying. Look at this. Everybody's selling. This is spot market sell order. This is the buys. So we can see that it is bearish. So coming back to somebody who says this is the beginning of a bearish, yeah, this is the beginning of the week and we are bearish. But let's see what happens at the middle of the week. I wouldn't take anything for guaranteed. So yeah, Ethereum looking awesome. Ethereum on the daily, this is what I'm seeing. We've had a few candles here, a few lovely wicks. This is what I like to see. That gives me a nice indication the market still wants to be bullish. They want to still keep it within this trend box, and this flag is still possible. We could still see a breakout in the flag. Looking at BTC, we just done this. This was the trend line I was talking about. This is what we're holding, and this is the box we're facing resistance, and this box has been there the whole time. If you looked at any previous video, you'd have seen this, right? So you know, we're just holding this. Let's see what happens. But remember that $46,000 level is our 200-day moving average. We have to hold this whatever happens. So now, while we're on this subject, somebody asked, so brother asked me a question. Let me go here and let me get that coin out and we'll talk about it. So you all know that I've talked about Solana many times, 6 months ago, 7 months ago. I mean, from the beginning of this channel, at some point we talked about Solana, and I mentioned how we bought Solana at $1. So somebody's recently made a video on YouTube. It's a big popular channel, I won't mention who. And what they've said is basically they are dumping all of their Ethereum to go and jump into more Solana, more Cardano, whatever. When I hear this, to me, all I'm seeing is somebody trying to hype people, get them to go and pump the coin they want. If they wanted to dump their Ethereum, why didn't they dump it when it was like $5 or $10? That's my opinion. Dump your Ethereum and go into Solana. Solana's going to be so powerful. Should have done it there. Well, I'll tell you why they didn't do it at $10. Because at that same time, Ethereum was sitting at about $200-300. Do you know what I mean? So if Ethereum is sitting at $200 and today is sitting at $2,000 or almost close to $3,000, they've already made the appreciation. So of course they don't have to pump Ethereum anymore. Now they want to pump a little bit of Solana. And sometimes remember, a lot of the people, what they do is do as I say, not as I do. So what you'll find is they might not even do this. You know, now when we come to some of the long hodlers, right, some of the experts in the industry, right, they will all tell you one thing and then they will do another thing. That's what they say to you, right? They say, we're going to do this. Well, I'll be honest with you. Listen to this. I've been telling everybody you can sell, you know, if regarding BTC, right, since it was like $300. This YouTube channel started talking about crypto, and you can see my timeline, right? This YouTube channel started talking about crypto. I think it was like end of last year, right? So we're not that old. This channel is actually very new. And at that time, we were sitting at $20,000 or something like this, or close to something like this. And I've been telling people we're heading towards a 65,000. In fact, look at some of my old videos. We mentioned the 39 to 65 before we even saw a 30K. That's how insane we did that. So we were telling people that, guys, this is the time to buy. When we went to $30,000 recently, we said, guys, time to buy. So we were telling people, anything you see, buy. I've been telling people how bullish I am. But I've never said to anybody, I'm letting go of my assets. These are gold. These are gold. These are gold. I used to call Ethereum an alt. I don't even call it an alt anymore because it's proved itself, right? It's proved the network capacity. Remember one other thing as well. You've got about, I don't know, close to 10,000. Let's just say 10,000 of these shit coins running on Ethereum. What did they pay fees with? Ethereum. So who gets the benefit when these shitcoins are operating out there, right? They get, obviously it's going to be Ethereum. Ethereum always benefits, right? All the shitcoins go away, Ethereum benefits, fees burning, this burning, that burning. Everything is to do with Ethereum, right? So that's what it is. So Ethereum is always going to benefit. Now, when this was sitting down here, we talked about $100 the other day. By the way, remember we talked about $100 coin, and we also mentioned a $400 coin. Well, we got that. We got this. Do you know what I mean? But we were sitting at $1. Guys, we were sitting at $1. Look where we are today. And we just spoke about it 3 or 4 days ago. The target is $100. After the target is the next target. And we hit that. So what do we do now? Right? What do we do now? Look, we just smashed through our target. Our target was here. We beat that. So what's the new target? Well, let's have a look. Oh my God, look, I'm just looking at this with you right now. What's the new target? New target is $130. So again, I don't know what to say, guys. The thing is why would you drop an asset that is sitting there right now and allowing these protocols to be, pumping a little bit? Of course they have a future, but does that take away what Ethereum has? Ethereum has 10,000 shitcoins under it. How many does Solana have? How many does Cardano have? How many does Polkadot have? Hundreds, maybe. They haven't even reached that peak of thousands. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? You've got billions and billions of dollars, running and operating with Ethereum. You've got maybe a few million, maybe a few billion running on Solana. We're hoping to see a few million to a few billion running on Cardano. So why would I leave the best out of all of them and jump into them? And why wouldn't I, as an influencer or as a YouTuber, tell you about Solana when it was a few dollars, when it was $10, $20? My God, it was $20 a few days ago. Why wouldn't I, as an influencer, all I have to do is say, guys, I'm super bullish on this. I'm not letting this go. I'm going to hold in this for life. I expect this to go to $100. I expect this to go to $400. That's all I have to say. No financial advice, obviously, but that's all I have to say. That is all you needed to know. But today I've come to you and I've said to you, this is what somebody said, right? Some influencers going around and say, I'm going to dump all my Ethereum because it's going to grow more. Well, where were you? Why didn't you tell them when it was low? Do you know what I mean? Ethereum was a few $100s. We've been talking about it. BTC was a very small amount back in the days. Why didn't you talk about it? So this is the kind of stuff you need to understand. I think a lot of these guys, these influencers, don't really want to show you what's really going. And also, there was another guy. My God, this was insane, right? Okay. So, the volume, market volume. So we can see this volume and we can see this dominance. What does dominance really show you? Nothing. When BTC dominance is up or down, what does it really indicate to you? Nothing. Currently, we can use this as an indicator to say, okay, BTC dominance is this. But what if this 11,000 coins becomes 20,000 coins and BTC dominance shows up as 10%? What then? It doesn't necessarily mean this will change. It just means other altcoins also have a certain level of hundreds of $billion in them. That's all it means. The percentage only means how many more billion there is. So what's dominance got to do with anything? And then on top of that, what really winds me up is what they did. They literally showed them an 8-hour chart. Here's my 8-hour chart. What does it show you? Nothing. What does 8 hours signify? A specific part of the world, a specific time zone of the world, nothing else. So how am I supposed to use this data and then say to you guys, right, guys, this is what's happened in the last 8 hours? Where did it happen? Which country? So you're going to leave me hanging? Now I need to go and search on Google which country had the last 8 hours of trading? Honestly? So this is what I avoid, guys. I just want to give you no BS. Absolute truth, absolute facts, facts, and just the, if we're going to play with hours, play with 4 hours, 1 hour. If we're going to play with day, then of course it's awesome news, right? That's what we're going to keep. Mostly, as you notice, I do the daily stuff, right? Also weekly, that keeps us, predicting what's going to happen in advance, right? Of course, bro. Yes, true. You see, YouTubers, when they reach 100,000 subscribers, people will reach out to them. Companies reach out to them and sponsor them. So, for example, there's a channel called Wolf of Wall Street. He's a regular sponsor. He gets sponsored by BlockFi. There's another channel called Altcoin, and I don't want to name all of them, right? So these guys are kind of big, right? They all get sponsored. They don't mention it. They're paid on a monthly basis. There's three crypto YouTubers who are paid monthly as a sponsor. The sponsor pays them by Bybit, Femex, and Dudex. These three YouTubers kind of connected. They actually even have a company together where they do consulting and charge people more money, right? But they get paid by those companies to promote their affiliate links, and they'll come up on the show, guys, there's $7,000 in the link description below, and then you go there, and then the company says you got to put 2 BTC in to get this. They will say you can get a free trade, you can trade $100,000 for free, you can trade $50,000 for free. And here I am telling everybody, guys, don't trade if you don't know what you're doing. You're going to get wrecked, even if it's free money. Who gives you free money? Nobody. If a casino, you walk into a casino and they say, we're going to give you free money to gamble, right? Is that, does that make any sense? The house always wins. Leverage trading and leverage trading companies will always win. They don't need to win from everybody. They only need to win from a small percentage. That's how people get wrecked. Of course, bro. That's just a sad truth. Too many people like the hype and all of that. And I'm here all about facts. It's not about hype or anything. I'm going to tell you. If you tell me something, I'm going to tell you. Like you asked me for BSV, I told you what the facts are. I don't care whether BSV is number one. I don't care if some shitcoin from God knows where comes and becomes number one. I don't care. I'm only supporting the one with the highest network. I'm supporting Ethereum, the one with the highest number of smart contracts on there. Do you know what I mean? And everything else, I'm in it just to make quick money. Right? So also, brother KR, he asked me earlier on, and I did mention this to him as well, so I'll talk about it, right? So I hope, KR, this kind of answered your question as well, right? The private question you asked me, I hope this kind of answers it. And also, guys, KR is one of our super moderators on the Discord as well. So, the thing is, on the Discord channel, we do, I have seen some spammers, some scammers come on and just spam the channel, because we do have a leveling system and everything. So when those guys came in, some of those guys are just messing around. So when they do mess around, I basically just kick them out. It's very simple. There's only one rule. We're going to keep the server clean, right? We want to report spammers, get rid of spammers, and I've got moderators there, and obviously people will rank up and get there. And also, if you are going to join from YouTube, please tell me who you are, right? If I can verify who you are, I will approve you, and I'll give you one of these super YouTube membership, right? Like not member, but super YouTuber. So that way I know you're verified from YouTube. Also, few other bits and bobs. Everyone wants your daily dose of news. Well, guess what? I've connected an automatic news system, right? So on the chat, every few hours, you'll get the most relevant news that you want. So this way, you're always going to be 2 steps ahead of everybody else. You're going to know the news before it is. And also, we've connected a bot here where you can actually ask any charts or anything. So everything is automatic here. You don't even need me on there, but we do moderate, and a lot of people have joined. I'm really happy. I mean, majority of them are offline. So yeah, I mean, when you do come in, make sure to tell me who you are, especially let me know your thing. So I see, hey Yami, I see somebody has joined. So yeah, let me know who you are, right? At least your YouTube ID, so that way I can verify that you're from YouTube, and then I'll allow you. And also, once you're verified, you are going to be able to see a lot more functions. For example, I do have some like here, for example, people I know chat. I'm opening a new one as well. I'm going to have that there. And on the server, you can also listen to music and everything as well. I do have music bots, so which is quite cool. There's a few bits and bobs I've connected. That's really awesome stuff. But anyway, we're going to make I'm going to improve this a little bit more. So there's going to be all sorts of random places, and also you can advertise stuff here as well. Look, I've even made something here for people. Come and just advertise whatever you want. Advertise your videos, your channels, whatever you want. Just keep the channel engaging, and there's a point system. As I said, the points will come in, and it will be awesome. So now, KR, coming back into one of your other questions, right? So we talked about coins, dumping coins and buying coins. When you dump, I mean, you can dump whenever. I always talk about taking your initial investments out. Okay, take your initial investment out as soon as possible. Ignore the hype, ignore the news. Take it. I mean, listen to it, watch it, read it, do whatever, right? And some of the channels you've talked about, and the channel you specifically spoke about, the influencers you spoke about, they have like almost 500,000 viewers. In fact, one of the channels I mentioned, they have more than 1 million subscribers, and they are paid to do it. That's what it is. They're in it for the money, right? God forbid, I don't want to be in it for the money. So I'm going to be straight up with you guys, very transparent. If I do it, I'll do it. I'll tell you guys that, guys, I'm being sponsored. My video will clearly have a label, sponsored video. And even if I do get sponsored, I'm not going to have a bias towards anything. I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to tell you what I feel about it. If I think it's a scam, I'll tell you it's a scam. For example, when I mentioned that video about Shiba Inu, actually that video got my highest number of views for a short, right? It's ridiculous. And when we talk about that one, immediately the moment I opened, I said, guys, maybe a scam. Maybe a scam. I always tell you to read, don't listen to me. The information's there for you. I will tell you what my views are. If your question is, or what's your views, I will tell you. Like today, you asked me, what's my views on dumping Ethereum and buying Solana? I'm going to say no. Why would you want to dump something and pick up something else? If I was you, I'll hedge myself. I'll pick up all of them. Do you know what I mean? Right? And you should have been already doing that. These influencers should have been already telling you when you was down here, not when it was up there. If that makes any sense, right? Thank you, bro. No, I appreciate you coming to the chat as well. You know, this is the kind of stuff that makes it engaging, right? I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers who just basically just talks on his own and anything. I'm here for you. Your questions are to be answered here. This is what this channel is about, right? So, KR, another thing we talked about the other day was what's these new coins I was looking at, right? So I am going to mention it right now. So one of the coins I was mentioning was Rally. So this is Rally, where it's a new coin. It's launched on Coinbase and a few other places, right? So we did see a Coinbase dump, right? And this was around this time here. I think Coinbase dump was around here. So we had the Coinbase dump, but when I looked at the curve, I'm looking at this, and you asked me a big question: is it a long time hold or not? And I'll be honest with you, nothing is a long time hold unless it's one of the top contenders, right? Unless you're in it for the next 5 years. So what does Rally do is a big question, right? Rally is a social network coin. So social influencers and everything, they can actually go on and create this coin, create a community, get paid or whatnot. Like there's a whole ecosystem behind it. And I know a lot of the big boys are doing it, and the companies targeting those big influencers as well, right? And what they're trying to do is create this whole ecosystem. So we might see these fan tokens for social media and everything, right? Or even influencers. This is why this has been pumping quite a bit, right? So we will see, and you can have your, as I said, you wouldn't even know that this is a Rally token, but it's actually like, you know, like my own fan token or something. I can do this. And they do verify who you are. So that's what they're doing. And that's a pump and dump coin, in my opinion. So I would make the most of this as long as I can, but obviously being very careful to take my initial investment out as soon as possible. So that's one of them. The other one I wanted to talk about was more interesting, actually, was SKL, Scale Network, right? And I'll read a little bit about it. You'll understand. This is Scale Network. So Scale Network, this is the structure, right? And when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing how awesome it looks. So it launched, it went up, right? And then it dumped with everything else, and it's here right now. So it's kind of following the market, and that's what I liked about it. And when I looked at this, I said, interesting. And there was Coinbase launch was around here somewhere. So when I looked at this, I was like, okay. So I'm seeing this particular thing, which is technically an altcoin season pump. It's happening, that's for sure, right? We're not going to give price predictions or anything, because you can see the previous high was $1, right? $1.24, that was a previous high. So when we're looking at all of this, we're saying, well, what's the technology? Let's have a look. And that's what got me interested. This particular one here, Scale Network. Right, I even like the icon they got. It's like a wallet, right? This was very interesting when I looked at what this is. You know, it's an elastic network that's designed to bring scalability to Ethereum. So it's not a competitor. It's like addition, like a little topping on Ethereum to help it. And that's what it is. And you can build dApps, you can run smart contracts. I see potential for this, right? So just looking at this, no financial advice. I did say to a few people, I said, just buy $100 worth and leave it, because the price is so ridiculously cheap. Leaving 100 of this one day, and this is what I'm telling you, listen to me what I'm about to say right now. Buying 100 of this coin, right, would do the same thing if somebody bought $100 worth of Solana. Right? Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those kind of things. I'm not going to tell you I'm dumping this to pick up this. No, this is done what it needs to do. This is projected for close to $400. Binance coin was projected to do $1,000. Unfortunately, with all the regulation and all the bollocks that it had, it went down. Cardano was projected for $4. It's not far. Ethereum was projected for, I think it was top was 7,000, but we did see $5,700, so we're still on track for that. BTC we were on track for, and I can show you the chart actually. I did pin it to the thing because somebody asked me, said, can you pin this please? So we were projecting this, and this is months ago, guys, months ago. We projected $71,000. So you can see we projected, this was a projection line, $71,000. Once we hit those levels, then obviously we're going to start aiming towards the higher levels like 80, 90, 100. But this is what we got. We want to be realistic. We don't want to just jump from, $50 to $500 all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? We want to be realistic. We're not here for the 10x or 1000x gains. So that's that. But yeah, this is what you got, right? Some of these coins you're looking at, this is what we've got. But Scale is one I'm looking at. Looks very interesting from where it is. And if we do hit those previous all-time highs, then we could actually see a lovely little target of $1.99, say about $2. That's not going to be bad. I mean, if someone did from here, this price to there, that's like a 6x. But you know what? You got to be prepared to hold long time. You got to be disciplined enough to take your initial out ASAP. So other than that, guys, I'm not going to make this video any longer. I hope everything here was informative. I hope you found value in this video, and I hope I answered all the questions that everybody had for me, because obviously there's too much confusion. There's too much noise. You got to filter the noise out. Listen to it, observe it, no harm, but be logical. This channel is all about logic and reason. If you can't see a good logic in what's happening or a good reason, then you should question it. And if you do question it, ask me, I'll give you the answer. So that's what it is. This brother, he basically obviously had some issues. He had some questions and he felt confused. So he asked me, here's your answer. Everybody else that asked me questions as well, I hope I answered everyone's questions and we can move forward with this, right? Future is bright, guys, end of the day. But you know what? Crypto's not just for today. If you're in it for today, you shouldn't be in it. Crypto's got a long, long future ahead, and the journey is going to be very long. It's still a baby. It's only 10 years old. It's only 10 years old. So once it matures, that's when we're going to see some good action. By that time, I'll probably leave, because a lot of people have talked about how BTC is not going to be volatile anymore. I talked about it as well. At some point, we're going to stabilize. And when we do stabilize, it's just going to be like any other stock. So that's the best time to exit and find something else that's a lot more volatile. Volatility is key. If it's not volatile, it's not alive. Very simple. It's a dead coin if it's not volatile. That's what we want. So this market is awesome. So other than that, guys, like, share, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, this is the kind of content you're always going to get, right? Unfiltered, no nonsense, just to the point, and facts, right? And we use logic and reasoning for everything. I've got a Discord server. Go check it out. Description's in the link. So other than that, I'm going to catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.